Hey Mixers, welcome back to another NFL video. Today we're going to go over all the Week 12 sides, totals, and spreads and let you know the game bets that I've already made. I actually made quite a few this week so far, so let's go ahead and jump into that. You guys know this is the longest video of the week, so let's get started on it. All right, so first I did want to show one of my season-long bets did hit this week, so that's Drake May over 19.5 passing touchdowns. He had 20 as of this week. So that was obviously a great bet to make. Season's not even over yet. He's obviously been fantastic this year, but he has benefited from one of the easiest schedules in the NFL, which is why I made this bet in the first place. All right. All of the game bets, I actually called 5 games exactly correct. Like I got the money line, the spread, and the total, which is pretty fun because I don't think I've ever called 5 games correctly like that. So I did okay on the game bets this week. We actually went up. It was our best week on game bets. We went up 3.53 units. We got Dallas minus 3.5 at the Raiders, Cleveland plus 8.5 at Baltimore, Jacksonville outright on the money line plus 148. Tennessee did not get it done against Houston on the money line. And then the money line parlay with Dallas, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo came through. Our super teaser, we only missed 2 legs. On this Miami Dolphins game, I gave you 2 different legs you could choose from, and one of them hit and one of them didn't. So kind of 2 or 3, depending on how you look at it. So that was pretty good. You don't have to put together all 14 legs. You can just take the legs that you like and put them in a super teaser and cash it. I mean, if I had not done all 14, I could have probably cashed. So let's jump into the bets for this week. Oh, actually, sorry, I forgot we have to review all of the other stuff. So player props went 4-4, not so great. In fact, this is probably my worst week in player props for NFL this season. The way that they were paired up was also just really bad. I ended up down like 4 units on the player props this week. But we're over 53% still on the player props for the season, so that's not too bad. I can't be mad about that. Touchdown calls continue to do horrible for me. I did get CeeDee Lamb and Trey McBride. Jalen Waddle and A-Chain did not get touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs did not get a touchdown. Quentin Johnston did not get a touchdown. And then none of the Browns players got a touchdown. So I'm not good at the touchdown calls, you guys. I know that, but it's just so fun to play them. I'm only risking like maybe 1.5, 2 units per week. So it's not, it is a consistent drag, but the only way for me to get better at it and to learn is to play it. So that's what I'm going to keep doing. All right, NFL leans went 1 and 2. Our alt line did come through, and our best bet did not come through. Quentin Johnson did play, but the Chargers just were terrible. And then we have 4 teams on bye this week, but none on bye next week. So kind of keep that in mind. First game here Thursday night, Buffalo at Houston. Spread is 4.5 to 5.5, total 43.5. Money line plus 215 for the Houston Texans and minus 250 for the Bills, which I think that's a crazy number that we're getting for the Bills. I know that Vegas likes this game to stay close, and maybe it does, but I do like the Bills to win it, so I think you could put them in a money line parlay. I didn't end up doing that just because I couldn't find 2 other money lines that I wanted to put in a parlay. But the home teams have always won going back to 2009 in this series. But the Bills are scoring 32.5 points at home, 24 away. Texans are allowing 16. And then Texans are only scoring 24 at home, and the Bills are only allowing 18 on the road. So I think it's going to be fairly close, like Vegas said. So 21-20 is what I put the score at. That leads us to an under on the total. Houston on the spread, Buffalo on the money line. But I'm not super confident about any of those. The leg that I'm going to take for the super teaser is the Buffalo team total under 31.5. This is one of the best defenses in the NFL. And if anyone can do it, Josh Allen can. I just don't think that they'll need to. And I think that the Texans will be able to capitalize on any mistakes that the Bills offense makes. So they should be able to get some turnovers and keep it kind of a low-scoring game, in my opinion. Like lower scoring, towards the lower end. All right, Pittsburgh at Chicago. Spread's 3.5. Total 44.5 to 45. 136 for the Steelers, if you like them, because the Bears are the favorites here. This could flip-flop. I wouldn't be surprised. And then 125 on the Bears. These teams went 1-1. Home teams winning both games, and they were both close in the last 2 matchups, which these teams don't play each other that often. Steelers are scoring 24.6, and the Bears are allowing 18. And then the Bears are scoring 25 at home, and the Steelers are allowing 25 on the road. So I am actually going to choose the Bears to get the win here, 24-21. So Chicago on the money line, Pittsburgh on the spread. I like the hook, especially plus 3.5, and then under 44.5. And for the super teaser, I am going to take Chicago over 18.5 for the team total. I've been doing this like almost every week as a leg because the Bears have just consistently been able to get over the number. So I'm going to take them to get over the number one more time in my super teaser. I think you could consider just playing the Steelers spread outright. And I think you could also consider putting the Steelers in a teaser up to like 9.5. I think that's a great idea, actually. All right, New England and the Bengals. Spread is 7.5 to 8, and the total is 48.5 to 49. The money line is 360 for the Bengals, plus 360, and minus 300 for the Patriots. Patriots are 2-1 in the series, and the away teams won in all 3 games. So the New England would be the away team in this game. Seems like they're going to win, but I actually think it's going to be a lot closer. Patriots are scoring 25 at home, 28 away. Bengals are allowing 36 at home, but they are scoring 33.6 at home as well. And the Patriots are allowing 20 away. So I put it at 27-24 with the Patriots winning, but much closer than the 8-point spread. So I'll take, plus 8 on the spread. I actually found plus 7.5 for plus 100. So I took that on Novig. Over 48.5 for the total. I think these two teams could run it up, but in the end, I do think it stays close. In the super teaser, I am going to take the Bengals team total over 13.5, which is insane to me that I can even get it that low. All right, New York Giants at the Detroit Lions. 10.5 to 11 spread. We have a lot of big spreads this week, actually. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of necessarily upsets, but I do think there's going to be a lot of underdogs covering the spread. Totals 49.5 to 50.5, plus 500 for the Giants on the money line, minus 575 for the Lions. Giants have lost the last 3 head-to-heads going back to 2017, which is no surprise to anybody. Giants are scoring 21.5, and they're allowing 30 on the road. Lions are scoring 33 at home and allowing 16.8 at home. So I think 27-17, that's a 10-point spread. The spread is 10.5 to 11, so I'll take the 11. Detroit money line, Giants plus 11, under the 50.5. And then for the super teaser, I'm going to take the Giants at Detroit under 58.5. So I'm going to take the total way up and then go under. Because honestly, I don't think that the Jameis Winston magic is going to show up in this game. I think the Lions are going to clamp down on them. And I don't think the Lions necessarily need to or want to run up the score either. So I think that's a pretty safe line. I mean, we're almost looking at like a 30-30 game or like a 40-20 game in order to get over this line. And that is a lot of points. All right, Minnesota at Green Bay. Division matchup with a 6.5-point spread. So we're going straight to the underdog there. Totals 41.5 plus 240. We're getting a good number for the money line on the Vikings. Minus 275 for the Packers. In 2024, the Vikings swept the Packers. In 2023, the away teams won. And then in 2022, the home teams won. So not a lot of consistency here. Obviously, Jordan Love might not be playing. Malik Willis, I think, is an okay replacement. When he had to come in last year, they actually did okay. But not against a division rival like the Vikings. So Vikings are scoring 21.8, and they are allowing 25 in away games. Packers are scoring only 20 at home and allowing only 15. So this all kind of leads to an under. So I see 20-17. They're going to run a lot, but Malik Willis is going to run a lot. And then, so I see Minnesota on the money line winning outright as the underdog. Minnesota plus the spread, and then the under of 41.5. For the super teaser, I'm going to take Minnesota plus 14.5 on the spread. And I'm also going to play Minnesota just on the regular spread line, and I'm going to put them in a teaser probably. And I want to play them on the money line, just a little sprinkle. All right, Seattle at Tennessee Titans. I had faith in the Titans last week, and it did not come through, but they did cover the spread. We're getting an insane number here for the money line, plus 640. But I'm not tempted. Ugh. Sorry, guys. I'm so tired. Okay, the spread is 12.5 to 13.5. Total is 40.5 to 41.5. The road teams won in the last 2 head-to-heads. Seattle is the road team, and they do play better on the road. So I think the Seahawks are going to win the game. They're scoring 32 points at home, 26 away. Titans are allowing 29 at home. So I'm going to say 27 for the Seahawks. Titans are scoring 17 at home, and the Seahawks are allowing almost 17 in away games. But you always have to knock the Titans down a couple of points. So I think 13 or 14 points for the Titans. So Seattle money line, Seattle minus 12.5. Even though I don't like laying that many points with anybody, it's just I don't know if I can trust the Titans to cover the spread. So I'm not going to be betting on it. But that's my lean. Under 41.5 for the total. And then I will take in the super teaser Seattle and Tennessee, the total under 58.5. So again, like we're not going to see like a 30-30 game here. We're not even going to see like a 40-20 game or a 50-10 game. I mean, I just don't think that's what we're going to see. So I will take the under on that total. All right, Indianapolis at Kansas City. Spread's 3.5. Indianapolis coming off a bye. Prior to that, international game. Total is 49.5 to 50. Money line for the Colts is 154. For the Chiefs, 175. Colts won the last two head-to-heads, which was crazy. One was an away game, one was a home game. And Jacoby Brissett and Matt Ryan were the quarterbacks for those games. Mahomes played in both of those games. So the Colts have just kind of had the Chiefs' number for some reason. And now this year is the best team they've ever put together since Peyton Manning. So the Colts are scoring 34 at home, 30 away. Chiefs are only allowing 12.8 at home, though. So, I think 21 is a safe number for the Colts to get to. I think they will get over 20. And then the Chiefs are scoring 28.6 at home, and the Colts are allowing 24.6 in away games. So, ultimately, I do think that the Chiefs win this one. I think 24-21, 27-21, somewhere in there. So I'll take Kansas City on the money line, Kansas City on the spread, even with the hook, and the under of 50.5. For the super teaser, though, I will take Indianapolis plus 10.5. And then I think Indianapolis in the teaser at 9.5 would be a good move also. Okay, New York Jets at Baltimore Ravens. 13.5 to 14-point spread. 44.5 is the total. And the money line is plus 650, minus 900 for the Ravens. The Ravens are 10-2 against this team in their entire series history, going back to the beginning of their series rivalry. Jets are scoring 19.4 at home, 22.4 away, and the Ravens are allowing 26 at home. The Ravens are scoring 22 at home, and the Jets are allowing 26 on the road. So I actually do think this stays a little bit closer than people think. 24-14 is what I'm seeing. And so Baltimore on the money line, the Jets on the spread, and the under of 44.5 is what I'm seeing and what I'm leaning towards. I'm going to take the Jets plus 21.5 on the spread in my super teaser. All right, the Cleveland Browns at the Raiders. Now, I am filming this like after the game ended, but the stats have not updated yet. So the stats from tonight's game have not been taken into account. The spread here was 3.5. I don't know how much it will move, if at all. Total's 37.5. Moneyline plus 150 for the Browns, minus 162 for the Raiders. I think the Browns are live to win this one outright. So if you like them, I think you should take them. I don't like either one of these teams, but the statistics just for the Browns, the splits are crazy. They score way better at home, and they don't score on the road, and they just allow everything. So the Raiders get to stay at home for this one. Shedeur Sanders is going to be the quarterback for the Browns. I don't know how well that's going to work out. I guess we'll find out. So, that's what we watch for. But 24-14 is the score I see. So I do see both sides being able to score. Ultimately, I just think the Raiders get it done, though. So Raiders on the money line, Raiders on the spread, and then over 37.5. And I haven't had my super teaser leg for this yet because it wasn't offering any lines for these games since the Raiders were playing the Cowboys. All right, Jacksonville and Arizona, the spread's 2.5, 47.5 for the total, plus 125 on the money line for Arizona, minus 140 for the Jaguars. I think the wrong team is favored here. Cardinals have won 4 straight games against the Jaguars, and this is a perfect letdown spot for the Jaguars on the road. The Jaguars play way better at home. They score 24 points either way, but they only allow 14.8 at home, and they allow 30.4 in away games. Cardinals are scoring 22.4. They're allowing 27 at home and 24.2 away. So I think it is a close game. 24-21 is what I'm seeing. Arizona on the money line, Arizona on the spread, under 45.5. And I'm not putting any super teaser leg on this game because I'm sick of these teams ruining it for me. Both of these teams have ruined big bets for me this year. So I'm not putting them in the super teaser. All right, Philadelphia at Dallas. This game also, obviously the lines weren't completely settled because, you couldn't bet on these because they were currently playing. So spread was 4.5, 50.5 for the total, plus 185 on the money line for the Cowboys, minus 210 for the Eagles. Eagles have won 4 of the last 5, but if you remember, the one this year was very close. The Eagles are scoring 25 points at home and allowing 19.2. Cowboys are scoring 24.4 away and allowing 30. So I see 27-24, similar to what happened last time. Maybe 27-21, something like that. So I'm going to go over on the 50.5, Philadelphia on the money line, Dallas on the spread. No super teaser bet yet because they weren't out. And then I will take Dallas plus 10.5 in a teaser. All right, Atlanta at New Orleans. I think the wrong team is favored here as well. Don't hate me for it. You can do whatever you want. If you want to bet on the Saints, bet on the Saints. Home teams have won since 2022, so that's going back 6 games basically. Falcons are scoring 16 in away games, and the Saints are allowing 21.6. So I think that the Falcons can get 17 to 24 points here, somewhere in that range. And then the Saints are scoring 16.4 points at home, but the Falcons are allowing 22. So I do think that the range for the Saints is going to be between 17 and 21. So I'm going to say 24-17. That leads us to an Atlanta money line, Atlanta on the spread, and over 38.5. For the super teaser, I'm going to do Atlanta team total over 13.5. Can't believe I could get that. And then Atlanta plus 7.5 in the teaser as well. All right, Tampa Bay and the Rams. The Bucks won a close game at home recently, and then the Rams won the previous 3 before that. This should be a good game, though. Baker's probably tired after the Bills game, but he might get back Bucky Irving. He might get back Chris Godwin. I don't want to count on it. Spread 6.5, totals 49.5. The Bucks are scoring 26.8 at home and 24.2 in away games, so pretty much the same either way. But the Rams are only allowing 16.8 points at home, 17.6 away. So their defense is no joke. And the Rams are only scoring 23.8 points at home. So I think it's going to be close. 24-21 is what I see the score being. I will take the Rams on the money line, but I want the Baker and the Buccaneers on the spread. For the super teaser, we will do under 58.5, although I think that leg could burn me. Because if this game gets out of control, I think it could go over the total. I just think with the Rams' defense and the Buccaneers' weapons all hurt, I think it is going to be a little lower, close to the regular total, but definitely under 58.5 for the super teaser. And then I'll take Tampa Bay plus 12.5 in a regular teaser. All right, Carolina at San Francisco. A lot of people think that the wrong team is favored here, and I'm inclined to kind of agree. I think the 49ers will win this game, but I think the price for Carolina to win this game, 285, is too much to ignore because I think they are very live to win this game. So 49ers won the most recent 2 head-to-heads, but obviously they've been playing with a lot of injuries, and the Carolina Panthers have been playing better and better every week. So the Panthers are scoring 20.6 at home, 17.3 away, and the 49ers are allowing 22.9. So we'll put the Panthers somewhere around 20. And then the 49ers are scoring 20.8 points at home, and the Panthers are allowing 23.5. So I do think that gives a slight edge to San Francisco, maybe 21-20, 24-20, something like that. So San Francisco money line, Carolina plus 7, and then under 47.5. So in the super teaser, I'll take Carolina plus 16.5 on the spread, and then I'll take Carolina plus 12.5 in a teaser. So here is the super teaser so far. We're missing 2 legs we're missing 3 legs. It's not 14 legs. I forgot to take that off. We're missing 3 legs because we're not betting the Jacksonville and Arizona game. And then the other 2 games, the Cowboys game and the Raiders game, didn't have bets for me to look at. because they were all pulled during that game. So here are the legs I have for you so far. You can take a screenshot of that if you want. They did really well last week. I don't have the price, obviously, because I'm not done making this yet. And then here are the bets that I actually did put in. So I'm going to take the Bengals plus 7.5 on the spread against New England. Found that for plus 100 on Novig. Minnesota at Green Bay plus 6.5. Found that for plus 100 as well on Novig. I will sprinkle on Minnesota plus 257 on the money line. Tampa Bay plus 280 on the money line. Carolina plus, at San Francisco plus 6.5 on the spread. That one was just an even line. And then Carolina at San Francisco on the money line plus 272 is what I ended up getting on that. So those are the kind of the bets I took. They don't sound great, but statistically, they should do well. So I guess we'll see how that works out for me. Then here are the teaser legs that I liked down below. I'm not playing all 5 of these together. I just wanted to show you these are the regular 6-point teaser legs that I liked. So if you want to take a screenshot of that, you can. As usual, if you want to get in for the cash prize giveaway for this video, either choose 2 of the spreads or choose 1 of the underdog money lines to hit. And if it does, then you will be in for the cash prize giveaway with everybody else who also gets their picks correct. All right, thanks, guys.